Since my last couple of videos have been on linguistics, I thought I'd make another episode to go in the videos about wild stuff category. Hi, welcome to my channel where I talk about things that interest me because that's all I do all the time. I've been at a bit of a conspiracy theory binge over the past few months, largely thanks to Wendigoon and his coverage of the conspiracy theory iceberg. And one title that really caught my eye was Prison Planets. So here's Wendigoon's original explanation of the Prison Planets conspiracy.
The other theory is that humans are not the natural members of planet Earth, and some thousand years ago, humans were brought to Earth as a sort of prison planet by extraterrestrials. The evidence for this is things such as humans are not meant to walk upright, and that we constantly get lower back pains from the way our bodies are positioned, and that we are supposed to be living in a different kind of atmosphere. This also would explain why such old world cults and religions had ideas of flying saucers and look to the stars and things such as, essentially as a means that we were put here as punishment and we spent the last 1,000 years trying to get back out.
And if you didn't know, this is what Australia was used for, which is why this video is called Space Australia. So obviously this theory doesn't hold any water because the universe is very clearly a simulation, but I've done some digging and found specifically why people believe we're aliens serving out a sentence on Earth. And a quick note before we start, this is called the prison planet theory, but it's actually a hypothesis given that it can be disproven. If it were tested rigorously and still couldn't be disproven, it would be a theory, but it's just an idea as of now, a hypothesis. Regardless, I'm going to be calling it a theory for the rest of the video because nobody cares. And on another note, PrisonPlanet.com is one of Alex Jones's websites, and the Prison Planet accounts on Twitter and YouTube are Paul Joseph Watson's, so do with that information what you will, this has nothing to do with them. So the Prison Planet theory stems from an American ecologist named Dr. Silver, who actually wrote a book about it called Humans Are Not From Earth. I didn't read it because why would I spend my time on that? He says we came here like 100,000 years ago and then interbred with the other species of humans that died out, like the Neanderthals and Homo erectus. We're just going to ignore the fact that the ability to produce fertile offspring with other types of humans means that we were the same species, because that would bring the likelihood of this theory being true down to like 1%. So just suspend your disbelief for a second here. The main point of Silver's argument hinges on the fact that humans are out of place on Earth, and here are some of the things he points out to prove that. We're way more intelligent and productive than any other animals on the planet. No other animals get sunburns, suggesting that we aren't evolved to handle this much sunlight and UV radiation. Humans are useless for way too long after birth, while most animals start maturing very quickly. Like, there are animals that can walk right off the rip. Most animals on this planet can hear a wider range of frequencies than we can. The chronic and incessant back pains that we face as an entire species might come from having evolved on a planet with lower gravity. Our internal clocks are aligned to a 25-hour circadian rhythm rather than a 24-hour one, which is true, by the way. It's something that you'll learn in any Psych 101 class. We're all sick in some way. Like, there's not a single completely healthy person. And there are a few other pieces of evidence along the same lines, but the main point is that we don't fit in. Also, after looking through like 5 articles about this book, I realized they're all exactly the same, just changed up a bit so it doesn't look obviously copied. And now I'm doing exactly the same thing. So, why would we be on a prison planet? Silver says that it might be because we are a naturally violent species and that we're here to learn to behave ourselves. Also, like, the concept of Earth being a prison planet in the first place is so terrifying. Like, that must mean that our ancestors did something so horrible on our home planet that instead of just being killed, they were taken to a remote planet, nowhere near other inhabitable solar systems, where we can't properly live due to our physiology, also that future generations will be born and suffer. Like, there are a lot of people that believe that life is so horrible that having children is evil. So, like, our ancestors being put here just to give birth and create numerous future generations to suffer for their crimes is like, what the... That's enough. That's enough. I'm done. I need to get that out of my head. Thanks for watching.